1943, in the British colony of Mauritius. The mainstay of the economy, production of sugar for the British market. The main employment sector, sugarcane plantations. After the abolition of slavery, in order to make up for an acute shortage of labor in the sugarcane fields, indentured laborers were shipped from various ports of India, Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. They were lured into believing that life in Mauritius would be easier and more enjoyable than their lot in India. But once in Mauritius, their sweet dreams turned into nightmares. Life for the indentured laborers and their descendants was miserable, very hard indeed. It was only the faith in their prayers and cultural traditions that kept them going and hoping for better days. Among those workers was one woman laborer, Anjalay Coopen. She was among those laborers who just could not bear to see her brothers and sisters continuously suffer injustice. She engaged herself in the fight for social justice. In Mauritius, the 2nd of November is a public holiday in remembrance of the arrival of indentured laborers in Mauritius. It is a day to remember their suffering and their sacrifice and express gratitude to them for having forged better conditions of living for the present and future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, the play you're about to see is an adaptation of the text written by late Painisami Padayachi and revolves around the life story of Anjalay Coopen during those hard times. It is partly based on historical facts and partly fictional, that is, imaginary. The staging of this play, Anjalay, the Ultimate Sacrifice for Social Justice, is placed within this year's celebrations of the arrival of indentured laborers in Mauritius and the 80th anniversary of the death of Anjalay Coopen.
அருள்மொழி கூறும் பறவைகளொலி கேட்டேன் உன் இறைவன் அவனே அவனே என பாடும் மொழி கேட்டேன். See, I am preparing for the Valley Kapu ceremony.
You look beautiful.
Party is coming.
Oh yes, you told me. Party is coming to do prayers for the baby. Oh, my baby girl. We'll go have Valli.
It will be a boy, I have told you. A boy. We'll name him Valen in honor of Lord Muruga. You know, I don't want my child to become a laborer like us.
I do. I don't want my child to do a laborer's job.
We'll send him to school.
Yes.
He will get a good education. Our elders always told us that when Mahatma Gandhi came to Mauritius, he advised them to give great importance to the education of their children.
Yes, that's true.
He also advised them to get interested in the political life of the country and seek justice peacefully. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. He told them that it is only education that can put an end to poverty. Oh, my son will have a good education. I want him to be a postman one day. How proud I will be when I see him in his beautiful uniform. I will teach him the Atitudi of Auvayal
and the Tirukural of Saint Thiruvalluvar. Party.
Oi, Zambi.
Welcome, Party.
Vanakkam.
Party.
have a beautiful baby. The child will grow up in good health. Om Shakti Parashakti. Blessings on you and on the baby. We will leave now. Vara, Anakko.
Welcome party. Welcome, Angie.
The next day,
From Adi Chodi of Auvayar, Aranjaya Virumbu, have desire to do good deeds. Aruvadisinam, control your anger. Tiruvalluvar, Tirukural, Kadavul Vastu, Agara Mudala Iruttillam Adi Bhagavan Mudache Ulagu. Of all alphabets, A is the first and source. So is the ancient Lord, the world's first and prime force.
You know, Bhakti has told me that it's time for me to start gathering materials to make a cot for the baby. Bhakti is like a mother to us. She's so kind and lovable.
Yes, and I must start thinking of the layette too. I'll ask Madame Denise to sew them. But I don't know what the future holds. It will all depend on...
Depend on what?
What if something goes wrong?
What can go wrong? Nothing will go wrong. But dismiss all doubtful from your mind. You must be very careful and you must take care of yourself. I know your commitment and I appreciate your courage. I know your involvement in the trade union movement, in your fight for social justice. But please, do not take any risk. Take care of yourself. Oh, Anjalay, next month we'll be celebrating our wedding anniversary. And I was thinking of something.
Thinking of what?
If our wages are increased,
Don't say if, say when rather.
well,
I'm really hoping that our employers will grant us a good increase in our wages.
well, when our wages are increased, I'll buy a beautiful sari for you on the occasion of our wedding anniversary.
I appreciate that, but you better repair the broken furniture first.
You know what I'll do if I win at the green lotteries one day? I'll buy a 24-carat Gajamale for your beautiful neck, a pair of smart golden carpets for your lovely arms, and a pair of jingling putties for your nimble feet.
Stop dreaming, dear.
Sometimes dreams come true. I have to go now. I have to go see my mother who's been very ill lately.
You will come back quickly, dear.
Don't worry, Anjalay, I have borrowed a bicycle from my friend Abdul. As I told you last night, I couldn't go if my mother was not seriously ill. She's living all alone in the village. She's so lonely. I may even have to stay for a few days until she gets better.
I understand. I will have to manage all by myself during your absence. But why don't you take her to the dispensary again?
You know how futile that would be. The people there would treat her with the same indifference as before. The medicines they gave last time was useless. Not effective at all.
But what if you take her to see a doctor in town, in Paul Reed?
Oh, that would be an excellent idea. But the doctor's fee and medicine would cost too much. I don't have that kind of money. I'd like to obtain a loan from that but he's charging too much interest.
How much is he charging?
5 cents. 5 cents per rupee per day. That would be 100% in 20 days. Can you imagine?
Oh Lord, that's terrible. Those moneylenders are cutthroats. Oh, by the way, I had asked you to buy some oil, some flour, and some salt. Have you been able to do so?
I'm sorry, Anjalay, I did go to the Chinese shop. But Ayun has refused to grant me any more credit. He's afraid that we won't be able to pay him back.
All right. Don't worry. There is some rice left. I will make some kanji with it, and we'll eat it with some leftover curries and with the chili.
But that won't be good for my baby girl. Oh, my baby girl.
You better hurry up to your mother's place before the situation gets worse. Don't forget to pay my kind regards to Ate. Tell her I wish her better health.
I will. Oh, Anjalay, on my way back, I'll gather some beautiful white flowers for you.
Oh, I love white flowers.
Till then, take care, love. See you.
See you.
A few days later, Anjalay is restless. News has reached Anjalay that the representatives of their trade union have signed an agreement with the estate employers to the effect that all workers in all sugar estates will receive an increase of 15% in their wages and a war bonus of 10%. Except workers in Belviarel Sugar Estate, where workers will receive only 6% of increase in their wages and a war bonus of only 4%. In addition, some minor categories of workers at the Belviarel Sugar Estate will receive no increase at all.
6%? 15%? That's not right.
Anjalay, so sorry to disturb you in this state, but I have no rice left at home. My children are hungry and have nothing. Please help me, Anjalay.
I promised to listen there. I also listened to Tamil poet Vernon Subrayam. But why are you so urgent, Anjalay? You look very anxious.
Our situation has gone from bad to worse.
Why? How?
In spite of all our efforts, we've made no progress at all to improve the living conditions and the working conditions of our fellow laborers.
Why do you say this?
Our representatives have signed an agreement with the employers without consulting us, and the agreement is very much against our interests.
In what way? How?
Laborers here at Bellevue are not getting the same increase in their wages as workers on other sugar estates for the same work.
Is that true? Well, what an injustice!
Exactly! What an injustice! We cannot accept this. Can we remain silent in the face of such an injustice, Tommy?
No, we cannot.
But the trouble is that our representatives have signed an agreement with the planters accepting this proposition.
How? They have signed an agreement without informing us.
They are saying that the labor inspector exerted pressure on them. We cannot accept what they have done in our name. Therefore, we must not give our consent to it.
We must not, I agree. But what do we do now?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. What we must do is we must start a strike and press for another meeting with the estate employers. I will need your help, Sammy.
I promise to give you all the help I can, Anjalay.
Those terrible employers cannot feel any pity for us. They have no idea of the extent of our suffering.
How can they be so heartless?
Sammy, we will have to talk to the workers about the need to start a strike. I have called for a meeting in the bike tomorrow. Make sure you come.
Of course, I will be with you in the bike car tomorrow, Anjalay. Well, I'll have to go now.
Sammy, see you tomorrow.
Yes, sure.
The next day,
Hey, come on, man. There's fun down here. Come on, you fool. What are you hiding? I'm afraid, sir. I'm afraid of what, you fool? Let someone seize me. There's nothing to fear. Come on. How could it not? Tell me. What is the situation? The laborers are there, sir. In the white car. What? In the white car. They're discussing. Discussing? What are they discussing? They will press for better wages. They will contact Pandit. Pandit? That agitator, isn't agitator there? No, sir. Pandit is not there. But they say they will contact him. His head will be chopped off if the trespassers on the estate of Bellevue. Tell me. How many persons are there? About 100, sir. Who's leading the discussion? Anjalay. Anjalay? Who's that fellow? She's a woman laborer, sir. She works in the bottom nesting. What is she doing? What is she telling the others? She has told them to go on strike. And she has told them to not be afraid. She has even promised them that she would lead them.
Whoever she is, she's playing with fire. Let her beware of a reckless fool. A call for armed police to deal with any unrest. We are ready for any emergencies. We are not afraid of any troublemakers. Take this. And don't fail to keep me informed, you idiot. If you try to trick me, I will cut your throat. Do you hear me, you rogue? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why has Mr. Agan given you money, Lalu?
No, Anjalay. Mr. Agan hasn't given me any money.
He has not given you money?
No.
What then have you hurriedly put in your pocket? Let me see.
You're mistaken, Anjalay. He hasn't given me any money.
Why are you covering your pocket with your hand? Why are you trembling then?
The police are coming with guns. The master has told you to stop inciting the laborers. He has told you not to play with fire, Anjalay. Don't play with fire, Anjalay.
Fire? Fire from guns? No. I only want justice.
I'm afraid to die. I'm running away.
How did the master know what I was doing? I have betrayed us for money. Aren't you ashamed of your foul deed? How can you sell your soul so cheaply? Can money blind you to the misery around you? Don't you see that your treachery is adding to the misery of your own family? You coward! Go and hide yourself under your bed.
I'm afraid to die. I'm running away.
We don't want the likes of you here. Get away from here. Let only the valiant stay. As for me, I will continue the fight, and I will not relent until all laborers are treated with respect and dignity, and that they get their due. I will dedicate my life to fight for social justice. There is no greater mission than that.
You are following the footsteps of other leaders. Adolf Hitler, Manuel Dr. Moschke, and Bandit.
Tell me, what do you know about these social and political leaders?
At meetings I have attended,
Indeed, you men are more fortunate than us women, for you have the chance to attend meetings all over the island. Tell me what they said at those meetings. I am interested to know.
Bandit has explained that if the indentured laborers from India had not come to Mauritius after the abolition of slavery to work in the sugarcane fields, the planters would have been completely ruined. He pointed out that it is due to our sweat, blood and tears that the sugar industry has flourished so well.
But who can make those hard-hearted and ungrateful employers understand that?
Oh, indeed.
You have attended the meetings of the Labour Party also. Tell me what they said at those meetings. I am interested to know.
The leaders of the Labour Party, Dr. Moschke, Architect and Bandit have explained how the employers whom the co-capitalists are exploiting the workers. They have ordered the workers to unite in order to resist the employers. They are advocating socialism.
Socialism? What is socialism?
They are saying that it is a system that will ensure better wages for the workers, a just distribution of wealth, and social welfare for the masses.
That looks too good, Simon. I doubt whether we shall ever see it happen. Don't you think so? Well, let us forget about that mirage for the time being. Let us talk about our pressing problems. They need immediate solutions. First of all, we must press for wages equal to what workers on other sugar estates are getting. We must get at least the minimum wage.
But what if the estate owners insist that we go by the agreements already signed?
We must resist them with all our might. We must fight until justice is done to us.
How do we fight until it? I've heard that they call for armed police.
We must not let fear deter us from our course of action.
You do well.
Bonjour, Monsieur Laval.
What are you plotting against us? What are you scheming?
We are not plotting anything. We are just talking about social justice, about our rights.
Rights? You have no rights. By the way, who are you to talk about rights?
My name is Anjalay.
Oh, so you are the best.
Sir, I am the one who cannot accept injustice. I can feel the pain of the suffering of my brothers and sisters. And in order to see justice done, I am not afraid to play with fire if need be.
You're reduced to ashes.
Nothing will make me swerve from my course of action. What we want is better wages for the workers, better living conditions, better working conditions. You are turning a deaf ear to all of our complaints.
Mind your language, woman. Beware of the recoil.
How do you think we can manage with the pittance you are dishing out to us?
Yes, everything has become more expensive since the war. The price of food has doubled. The price of clothes has trebled.
How do you know this? But we are granting a war bonus of 4% to help you to cope with the situation.
That is not enough. The Director of Labour has asked that the war bonus be raised to 10%. Other states have accepted that. Why have you refused?
Here at Bellevue, workers are getting an increase of only 6% in their wages, while workers in other sugar estates are getting an increase of 15%.
If other states can afford that luxury, that's their business. As for us, we cannot afford it.
Why a double cut in our wages for 1 day's absence when we are ill? Why are you cheating us on everything? Compensation, gratuity, overtime.
Stop blabbering, you silly woman. Thank God I don't make you swallow your words with your tongue.
With due respect, sir, I am not afraid by your menace. On the contrary, your language instills in me greater courage. I am determined to continue to seek social justice.
Who will live, we'll see.
Yes, we'll see the end of injustice. Look at our living conditions. Our thatched huts are leaking badly. We have to walk a long way from the camp to fetch water.
The latrines too are so far away. Many of them have no doors.
You don't need latrines. You prefer the field.
Fie, shame! Sir, can't you be more polite?
You nasty nuisance. Your door will lead you to a blazing inferno one day.
We are denied everything here. We are forbidden to gather fodder for our cattle from the sugarcane fields. You maliciously accuse Mahadev of stealing wood. Fortunately, Barrister Srinivas and Say taken from the prison.
We don't want to tolerate pilferers here.
Look how appalling is the treatment provided at the estate hospital. The doctor comes only once every week, and that too for a short time.
We don't want to encourage malingerers here.
See how the sugar estates have improved the conditions of laborers. That is because they are wise enough to deal with trade unions.
What is that thing you just mentioned?
Trade unions. Here at Bellevue, you have forbidden workers to join trade unions.
We don't want such nonsense here.
Poor Kumar has been dismissed from work and banished from the estate land only because he had joined a trade union. How hard was it for him when he was not allowed to come here, even when his father died? The poor man had to go to the cremation ground to see the face of his dead father. This is inhumane!
Yes, very sad indeed.
We don't want any rebels here. We will kick them hard. Granting such filthy associations to workers is like putting a razor in the hands of monkeys.
The truth is, trade unions are contributing a lot to the conciliation of wars. You must be blind not to see that.
Those bloody trade unions, as you call them, serves to promote the machinations of troublemakers. That's what they do.
Would you ever have imagined that a humble laborer whose hands have become callous by wielding hoes, build hooks and hammers, would one day rise from the fields to look you in the eyes and challenge you so bravely?
That madcap should be securely locked up and left to rot in a prison cell. The law is too lenient with such troublemakers. Good morning. Good morning, dear Inspector.
Good morning, Labour Inspector.
Good morning. I have come to assess how matters stand. I must submit an immediate report to the Director of Labour on the present situation.
Tell me, how we are continuing the struggle started by Dr. Venice, Manila Doctor and Dr. Moscow.
Just tell him that we lost faith in him. He's not defending the interests of the workers at all.
What can we do? We have to tread carefully. There are too many problems confronting us. We need time to solve them.
How much time do you need? I attended the meeting at the Charlie Bars when the Labour Party was founded.
That was in 1936.
Yes. Resolutions were passed asking for the extension of the right to vote to workers and the appointment of 2 nominees to represent the Labour interest in the Legislative Council.
Yes, that is correct.
Resolutions were also passed for the foundation of for the creation of a Labour Department, the foundation of trade unions, the adoption of just labour laws, and the granting of old age pensions. What has the government done to implement those resolutions? Can you tell me?
Has not a Department of Labour and Social Welfare been created? Have not industrial associations and conciliation boards been set up?
When was that done? It was only after the massacre at the Union Sugar Estates in 1937, and after the consequent commissional inquiry had submitted its report.
You can't then say that nothing has been done.
What was granted was a drop of water in the desert, a mere drop.
Besides, have not Abdul Rahman Osman and Dr. Susagar Angulam been nominated to the Council of Government?
Yes, indeed, but still, it is not enough.
See what treatment has been meted out to our leaders by the authorities. Moskile was confined to residence after the labourers' strike in 1937. Arkitil was deported to Rodrigue during the dockers' strike in 1938. Bissonia is being harassed by the police, although he's only delivered servants.
Marxists deserve the firing squad. Otherwise, they will nationalize our shoe industry one day. It is revolting to see how such irresponsible people are trying to destroy our shoe industry when we have built it up with such tremendous efforts since May la roue de Mienne au Marron.
Don't forget that it is the facilities provided by the British government that have led to Mauritius becoming the chief sugar producer in the entire British Empire, and also led to the boom years of the 1920s.
Exactly. Very true. But unfortunately, it was followed by the disastrous cyclone of 1931, the economic depression of the 1930s, and the World War.
With the result that we are seeing today.
Precisely. But who can make such ignorant and illiterate people understand that? Who, indeed?
While discussions are going on, our situation is deteriorating. How do you think we can survive on the meager rations of maize, manioc, and sweet potatoes?
It's the consequence of the war. It is due to circumstances beyond our control.
Moreover, calico and soap are not available. How do you think we can manage?
Government is taking steps to ration such commodities that will surely help.
Let me tell you frankly that your Department of Labor is there just to put dust in the eyes of the workers.
You must understand that our situation is not easy. We are walking on a tightrope.
The law authorizes you to sue the employers when they do not pay the minimum wages to the workers. Why don't you sue them?
The law authorizes you to sue the laborers when they launch an illegal strike. Why don't you sue them? This is exactly what they are doing since their representatives have signed an agreement at the conciliation board meeting.
Our representatives have signed the agreement reluctantly. Why did the director of labor exert pressure on them?
He considered the proposals of the employers to be fair in the circumstances. He also wanted to avoid any further delays. What could he do? The employers have flatly refused to pay any more.
What we have agreed to pay is all that we can afford. The sugar industry is making huge sacrifice to sustain the war efforts. We have been made to pay increased tax on sugar exports.
Whatever tax you have to pay, we cannot be made to bear the brunt of it. Other sugar estates are paying better wages. We shall therefore continue the strike until we get entire satisfaction.
An agreement is an agreement. Once signed, it becomes binding. Any strike therefore becomes illegal. Don't you know that?
I've been telling them that since the beginning. They have lost their rights. Look, I've been listening with patience to their impertinent protest. All this time, you have been aiming paper pellets at me. Now, it's my turn to drop a bombshell on you. We have declared a lockout. You are all dismissed. You should vacate the camp and leave the state immediately.
Oh, what a calamity. Having no pity taking such inhuman decision.
What will happen to our families? Where shall we go?
Go to hell!
You are mistaken if you think we are taking your monstrous decision lying down. Our patience has been stretched to the limit, and that is the last straw.
Let it break your back. I better warn you. You are negligence. And if you dare to dash against our iron walls, you will be smashed to pieces. Your call for armed police. Mind you.
You cannot fire on us. Only a magistrate or the commissioner of police can give the order to fire. If you do so, you shall commit a horrible crime, and you will pay a heavy penalty for that.
Look here, vermin. All this time you have been vomiting bile. How? You will vomit blood.
I will report the matter to the Labour Director. But the present situation is indeed beyond the scope of the Labour Directorate. It is the result of a host of social, communal, and economic factors that have accumulated for a period exceeding 1 century. Laws only are ineffective against such bewildering problems. What is needed is for the whole of society to be reformed in the first instance. And for that to happen, there must be profound changes in the hearts and minds of all those concerned. The great question, therefore, is who can assemble such conflicting elements into a functional entity in peace, justice, and harmony? Let us all think of that.
Anjalay, my darling, I've been looking for you everywhere, dear.
Why, Parky? Why do you look so troubled?
Because of you, darling. There is trouble all around. And I hear that you're getting embroiled up to the neck in it.
I am only helping our sisters and brothers who are suffering from so many wrongs.
Anjalay, my child, suffering has always been our lot. My grandfather used to teach me to accept fate as inevitable. He used to relate to me the countless sufferings he endured in life.
If it is suffering imposed by selfish people upon less fortunate ones, I will always stand against it.
First, the terrible conditions on board the crowded vessel that brought him from India. And after he landed, the hard conditions at the Kulitipu of Pravasigar. Then, the cruelly march to the sugar estate of Bellevue. And after that, the slave-like conditions in the sugarcane fields.
Slavery has been abolished, Parky.
There was also the necessity to carry a pass whenever he left the state, for fear of being arrested by the police and detained at the Vagrant Depot, and the obligation to attend work even when he was ill, to avoid a double cut in his wages. Well, did he not bear all that patiently? Did he not stoically accept his fate?
Parky. Laborers could do nothing else in those days. If they dared make any complaint, they would be compelled to do zinga 100 times with a heavy book on their head, or they would be hurled into the mixing mill. Those abominable conditions have been changed thanks to the struggle of Adolf the Playmates, Manuel Doctor, and Ayamudelia. Now it's different, Parky. Now it's the time of resistance to injustice. Pandit has told us that we can change our fate by offering resistance to injustice.
Pandit! Mark my word, he will land you in trouble, dear. Keep away from him. You know, there is plenty of work for a woman to do at home after leaving the sugarcane fields. She must regularly plaster the floors and walls of the mud hut with cattle dung.
I know that, Parky.
Thus, she must attend to the other members of the family. She has to prepare food for them. Before that, she has to gather vegetables and pot herbs and grind the curry condiments. She has to pound that heavy pestle to grind rice and turn the quern to grind wheat, maize, dalgram, and black gram. She also has to collect firewood.
I do all that, Parky.
That's not all. She has to carry buckets of water on her head from the public fountain. She has to wash the clothes in the river and then iron them. She also has to gather fodder for the animals.
Enough, Party. Enough.
That's what I'm saying. There is enough work at home. Anjali, my darling, I cannot help recollecting your charm as a young girl. I remember vividly with what grace you danced the colato, and with what devotion you carried the palio in the Coopen. I also remember, as if it was yesterday, how lovely you looked on your wedding day. You were draped in a fine sari, and you were decked with beautiful jewels. Round your neck, you were wearing an imposing collar of white and garnet red carnations. And on your long dress, you wore a charming string of white jasmine flowers. Believe me, Anjali, you were born to be an angel.
Well, angels cannot stand devils.
You were soft and tender like rose petals. How changed you are now, hard as steel.
Steel is forged by fire.
Better keep away from that fire, Anjali. Attend to your work and let others deal with their problems.
But their problems are also my problems.
Those who have problems should follow my example. They should go to the Coopen to pray.
God not only grants courage in suffering, He also grants bravery in action. I prefer to take action, positive action.
I'm really worried for you and your family, my child. Where is Danby? I don't see him.
He has gone to see his mother, who is seriously ill.
You see, there is trouble all round. A lizard fell on my head on Saturday last. What does it forebode? Heed my word, darling. Do not venture into this turbulence. Keep away from trouble. Remember the baby, Anjali. Remember the baby.
The women are crying. Anjali is our only hope. She's already pregnant. Yes, but we have nobody else to help us now. Are you sure? We don't. Oh my God.
Meenakshi! Subhashini! You both look so confused. Dear sisters, what news do you bring?
Bad news, Anjali!
Bad news. The eviction order has caused despair in certain quarters.
The women are crying, beating their breasts, wondering where they will go with their families.
A few women have loosened their hair or swaying their head by lamenting. The children, Anjali, are seeing that are crying with their mothers, while the babies do add into the chaos with their screams. A pathetic scene indeed, Anjali.
The women should not get dejected, for all is not lost yet. We shall do our utmost to come to their help.
Party fainted, Anjali. Party fainted on hearing the news about the eviction order. We had to sprinkle water on her face, while others had to take deep breaths. But on recovery, she asked us to take her to Coopen in order to seek God's help, Anjali.
We badly need God's help also. Party will pray for all of us as she usually does. Let us hope the Almighty will grant her fervent prayers.
Fortunately, Anjalay, not all women are weak. The staunch ones are still encouraged in the dejected ones.
The men also should raise the morale of the weak women. What are they doing?
Some are doing precisely that, but others are gathering sticks and stones to defend themselves, Anjalay.
They must exercise prudence, however.
A few families have started packing their belongings with tears in their eyes, but the strong-hearted are barricading doors and windows, determined to resist eviction to the end.
We must see to it that the situation does not become out of control.
But how, Anjalay? A few policemen have already arrived, equipped with lathis and cotton shields. They have been posted not far from here. Let me tell you that our men are viewing that with a bad eye.
We must persuade our men to keep calm and cool in the face of police provocation.
Moreover, news is spreading that reinforcements are coming from land barracks. It is reported that these policemen are with guns, Anjalay. This news has only made our men redouble their efforts to protect themselves. They have no choice now.
Their energy must be properly canalized in order to produce better results.
Anjalay, what must therefore be done, Anjalay? Why?
Listen to me, dear sisters. You know quite well how we have shown the greatest patience in the face of bitter oppression from our merciless employers.
Our patience has reached breaking point now.
I agree. Dear brothers and sisters, you were in front rank with me when we marched in protest to Port Louis. You will remember how, when the police stopped us, you did not, at my bidding, fall into the trap of police provocation.
We thank you for restraining us then, Anjalay.
Moreover, you have seen how the Director of Labor has turned a deaf ear to all of our complaints. How trade unions are being ruthlessly suppressed by our merciless employers, and how conciliation boards and arbitration tribunals have failed miserably.
Anjalay, conciliation boards has been effective so far.
Arbitration tribunals too have been completely useless, Anjalay.
This is the grim situation in which we are now. There is no doubt that we must resist oppression, but we must do so with care. Sticks and stones cannot triumph over guns. We must show determination, but we must do so in the right direction. We must show courage, but we must do so in a wise manner. Just give me a little more time, my friends, and I will find a solution. Trust me, I will retrieve the situation.
Anjalay, I have between laughs my comfort and encouragement to everyone. But something terrible has happened that has caused the situation.
What is it?
Someone has beaten Lalu, accusing him of being a spy, and he's bleeding profusely. The policemen are looking for their assailants, but he has gone into hiding. Our friends want to prevent the police from arresting him at all costs.
The situation has become explosive. Assemble our friends. I will address them in unequivocal terms about what they should do and what they should not do. The situation is such that a tiny spark might cause a mighty conflagration. All the same, I am determined to continue the struggle until final victory. Nothing will make me swerve from my course of action. But my primary concern is to safeguard the well-being of my fellow laborers.
Tommy, I hear that people will attack the factory. Will I actually lead them? Are you joining them?
Those are rumors spread by our enemies to harm us. Anjalay will never resort to such violent action. She is the leader whom we all trust. She professes peaceful resistance. As a lieutenant, I am duty-bound to follow her in whatever she does.
But I won't take part in the attack if it occurs.
You are too young for any rash actions. As I said, Anjalay wants peaceful resistance to injustice. What is your age, my boy?
I am 16 years old. I'm a man now. What do you think, Sammy? I am fearless. I intend to join the Pioneer Corps when I'm of age and serve in the army abroad. Do you want to test me, Sammy? Do you want me to set fire to sugarcane fields?
No, young man. Anjalay will never resort to such violent action.
Party has asked me to stand by her. Therefore, I must join your group.
I too! I want to join your group!
Look at this toddler. You're not 10, boy.
I am 12 years old.
So, what can you do?
I can attack the factory.
A mini revolutionary. Anjalay wants peaceful resistance. Do you know that there are policemen with guns protecting the factory?
I'm not afraid of them. I can fling stone at them. I can aim with precision. I never miss any mangoes on the trees.
Go and sleep on your mommy's lap, he said.
Mooney, come here. This is not a place for a young boy. There is danger, great danger threatening us. You better go home.
No, I want to stay. I want to learn. I want to become a pilot when I grow up.
You will have ample time to learn in life, my boy. Believe me, go home. I'm going to the bike club to meet Anjalay to discuss our course of action.
I'm coming with you, Sammy.
I too am coming.
And no, Mooney, it would be a terrible tragedy if a tender bird like you were to be nipped by a cruel hand. Go home, my boy. Believe me, please.
Boy! Boy!
Good morning. I'm the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ball.
Good morning. I'm Laga, Assistant Manager of Free State.
How do you do, Mr. Lagan?
How do you do, Mr. Ball? Please.
Thank you.
I've impatiently been waiting for your arrival.
Well, Mr. Lagan, what is the situation?
Mr. Ball, the laborers here are on strike, requesting an increase in their wages. Their representatives signed an agreement with us, accepting the new wages that we propose. But the laborers rejected this agreement on the ground that they were not consulted before signature. They refused to resume work and are claiming for an increase in wages. They are led by this troublemaker by the name of Anjalay.
Their strike, Mr. Lagan, is illegal. There is absolutely no doubt about that at all.
We now fear a violent reaction from their part. Laborers from the neighboring sugar state have set fire to cane fields. They are now fearing for their life. A member of the staff even armed himself with a shotgun.
Don't you worry, Mr. Lagan. We shall send those troublemakers a message that will echo down and across Mauritius and will send shivers down the spines of all of those troublemakers.
As you know, Mr. Ball, with the difficulties of importing rice, the government has asked all landowners to plant 1/12 of their land in the maize to help the food situation. How can we honor our commitment with a series of strikes from these foolish laborers?
Mr. Lagan, those troublemakers, they are disrupting the economy of our colony. They are fooling around while a German U-boat submarine is creating havoc, sinking our ships with our precious food. Fortunately, not all Mauritians are like those fools. Look at the fellows that are serving in the Pioneer Corps in the Middle East. They deserve medals for their bravery.
By the way, Mr. Ball, do you think that the war will last long?
Mr. Lagan, I think only a few years more. I think with the recent Allied victory at Stalingrad in Anjalay, I think they've turned the tables on Hitler. Furthermore, we are maintaining all our precautions and our defense force remains on high alert.
What about Japan? Do you think they're going to invade Mauritius?
No way, Mr. Lagan. With the American victory at Midway, that will be the forerunner of their final victory. The spectre of a Japanese invasion on our island, which has been hanging over our head like the sword of Damocles, has now been finally lifted.
I, however, consider, Mr. Ball, that the place should be tougher with these mischief mongers in Mauritius.
Don't you worry, Mr. Lagan. We have our ears and our eyes on all of those troublemakers. Our intelligence agency is taking notes of the meetings that are being held by that imbecile communist Emmanuel Patel and that seditious Sayadeo. They are also keeping an eye on that other agitator, Busundul, who seems to want to emulate Gandhi.
Gandhi has asked British to quit India. What do you think about that?
If that monster Hitler has not been able to budge Churchill 1 inch, do you really think that fellow Fakir will be able to do so? Ha! I look forward to seeing the face of the fellow that will set the sun on the British Empire.
What if our pseudo-Gandhi requests independence for Mauritius?
The fellow that will dare to do that has not yet been born. But I want to ask you about that other agitator, Ram Narayan.
Ram Narayan. They call him Bandit.
Bandit? They call him Bandit? I call him Bandit. That rabble-rouser, that strike fomenter, I will dog his steps. Let his path not cross mine, Mr. Lagan, otherwise he will regret it. For the record, I believe that law and order must be maintained in Mauritius at any and at all costs in order to preserve our peace and our prosperity.
Now, fear, Mr. Ball, that the strikers may attack the factory.
They will have to go over my dead body. Don't you worry, Mr. Lagan. I'll place 30 men armed with guns in a place where they can control and keep the crowd at bay. I've also placed another 10 armed men strategically where they can control access to the factory. These soldiers will make sure that the white line that I've drawn in front of the factory, and I've given orders to my soldiers and policemen that should anyone or anybody cross that white line, that they will be received with bullets. Come, Mr. Lagan. Let me show you what we have waiting for these troublemakers.
Oh, my Lord, I wish I could, after a day's tiring field work, stay at home, quietly, attending to the household tasks, and perchance listen to a sweet bird song. But that is not to be, for fate has ordained otherwise. When starvation wages are alms like flung in our face, when paltry foodstuffs are unfit for human consumption, when the cost of living is soaring to untrammeled heights, what is to be done to get out of this dismal tangle? When bare necessities of life are nowhere to be found, when housing conditions make us a prey to diseases, when fragile babies die, clutching their mother's dry breasts, what is to be done to escape from that hellish life? On one side are the unfortunate, trapped in dire poverty. On the other, the opulent, with their pageantry of stately mansions, sumptuous cars, and insolent luxury. Will there be no justice and fair play in this damned world? When words are of no avail, what's needed is stern action. Rocks are not moved by tears, they are displaced by strong crowbars. If the brave men of l'Union had not sacrificed their lives, would the heartless in power have stirred a little finger? If such supreme sacrifice must be repeated once more in order to save both present and future generations, if nothing else can achieve the desired objective, I am prepared to fight till my last breath so that justice could prevail. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This is my Mahabharat. This is my struggle. This is my battlefield. I have asked our friends to wait there and not to take any rash action. I am going to ask the employer to revoke the eviction order in the first instance. This will give us time for further negotiations. As for me, I am advancing with a clear conscience and a fearless heart, for my cause is just and our approach is peaceful.
I'm coming with you, Anjalay. I have sworn to follow you, whatever be the difficulty.
I too am coming. Party has asked me to stay by your side.
Let's go! Justice to the workers! Justice to the workers! Justice to the workers! Justice to the workers!
Justice to the workers! Justice to the workers! Justice to the workers!
Disperse them up! Disperse them up! Fire! Fire! They're retreating! They're retreating! Ceasefire! Ceasefire! Ceasefire, I say! You! Go and help the wounded! And you, go and pick up the dead.